I'm Christine Rodriguez, and this is my husband, Sebastian Rodriguez. We're creators and producers of Ninth Island Connection, a TV show that airs here in Hawaii and also airs in Las Vegas as well. Sebastian hosts that show, and so we like to do videos about Vegas, but also updates on Hawaii. And for today, we've had some interesting updates that we wanted to share about what's going on here in Hawaii and travel to Hawaii.
Yep, so we're really excited. So in this video, like Christine said, we're going to give you the very latest. We just watched a press conference that was given by the governor of the state of Hawaii, Governor Ige, and we're pushing forward with the October 15th opening. And we cannot be more excited about this program. Like Christine mentioned, we travel back and forth to Vegas frequently for our television show. So we're really excited with what we're going to share for you guys that are looking to come to Hawaii. Isn't it funny? We're all excited about going to Vegas, and all of them only care about what's happening in Hawaii.
Well,
so
I'm excited to come back to Hawaii because this will be our next trip to Vegas. This will be the first time that we'll be able to come back into Hawaii and try this pre-travel test process and not get stuck doing a 2-week quarantine.
And we'll share that with you guys also. So when we get back from our next trip to Vegas, we'll be back in early November. We'll do another video just recapping our experience with this pre-travel testing program that was just announced today. So do keep in mind that details are changing every single day, and we'll outline a couple of the details that are changing daily. So you want to make sure that you're going to hawaiicovid19.com for daily updates. You will always find the very latest. Tomorrow they could be a change, and there actually likely will be a change as early as tomorrow. So be sure to check that website. Also check with the carriers that we're going to cover with you guys also. So here are the latest details. So we are moving forward with an October 15th opening. Yay!
Next week, that's next week. It's so exciting. This has been, we've had a little pushback and we've been waiting for this, and it's just very exciting for those of us who live in Hawaii and probably all of you guys who want to travel into Hawaii that it's finally here.
Yes. So exactly what are the details? So the pre-travel testing is moving forward. So the way that it'll work is you will need to be tested 72 hours prior to your flight. So previous communication was 72 hours before your arrival in Hawaii. So it's 72 hours prior to your flight. And this is important, and I'll outline why that's important here in just a few minutes. So we do have partners for testing. So this is in no particular order, and it is changing daily as more partners come on board. So the more, the better, because wherever you are in the country or in the world, you will soon have a testing facility near you.
When we first did a video about this a few weeks ago, at that point there were actually only 2, CVS and Kaiser. So this list has just greatly expanded, which is awesome.
Yeah. So Hawaiian Airlines is offering pre-travel testing. Southwest Airlines is offering pre-travel testing. United Airlines is offering pre-travel testing. As of today, Alaska Airlines is in the final approval process. So again, if you fly Alaska, if you're in that region in the Northwest where Alaska tends to have more flights coming to Hawaii, check with Alaska Airlines to see if you can utilize them.
But it's important to know for all of these airlines that it's not at in every city.
Right.
Like for example, for Hawaiian, it's only San Francisco and LAX currently.
As of today.
Yes.
So again, it's changing every single day.
So best bet to check with your airline.
Yeah. So also Kaiser, Vault, Carbon Health, City Health, Collar, CVS pharmacies, and from what I understand, David Ige said today that it's nationwide with CVS. Also Walgreens, Quest Diagnostics, and American Family Care. So that was as of today. Those are official testing partners, with the exception of Alaska that like I mentioned, is in the final approval process. All of the others, and you'll see them up on your screen here, are official testing partners with the state of Hawaii for the pre-travel testing program.
And for all of those partners, there is a fee that's on you, the traveler, except for Kaiser.
Right.
Kaiser is so kindly and generously covering the cost of the test if you have Kaiser Insurance.
Yep, they will cover 100% of the cost for you. So with that, children under the age of 5 do not have to have a test. So please keep in mind, if your child is 5 years old, this many, that child needs a test. Well, because the language could be a little confusing if you say, well, 5 and under, so my kid is 5, they don't have to be tested. So it should be 4 and under do not have to be tested. 5 and older, you do require a test with a negative test result. If you test positive and you're from 5 plus, you will have to quarantine when you arrive in the state of Hawaii.
And to get those test results, it's recommended that you pre-register online for, I know for CVS and Kaiser for sure, but regardless of what partner you're using, you do need to contact them and pre-register for those tests.
Right, so you cannot just show up to CVS and say, I'm leaving to Hawaii in 3 days, can I get a test? Likely you're going to be told no, because they still are performing other tests for just regular patients that come in, and this is by appointment only. So if you don't have an appointment, they're not going to test you, and you will likely run into delays with your flight and your travel. So keep that in mind. So the rest of the process is get a test, pre-register at one of the partners, and take your test 72 hours prior to the final leg of your travel.
One thing to keep in mind is the type of test you have to have. It can't be any old test. It has to be an approved NAAT test.
It is a nucleic acid amplification test,
Oh, that's right.
NAAT. We'll stick with the acronym.
Yeah.
But that is the only test as of this time that the state of Hawaii is recognizing as an official test. So make sure that you clarify when you're pre-registering for your test that it is a correct type of test, because all of these providers are utilizing different tests. There's about 160 or so types of tests out there that can be taken. So make sure that you are specific NAAT tests, pre-travel for Hawaii. When you speak with any of those partners, they should know exactly what you're talking about. So the next step is upload your test results to the Hawaii Safe Travels app. If you don't have it, check for downloads and download it. Make sure you set it up. This is what you would set up with pre-travel testing to Hawaii anyway, to put in all of your travel information, your contact details, phone number, and all of that stuff. You want to upload your results there so that when you arrive here in the state of Hawaii, when they still check you in, they can check your information and see that you've had a negative test result. You go on your merry way.
But make sure you always keep your negative test result with you, just in case things didn't get uploaded. And they also can ask you at different hotels, or if you're renting a vehicle, they can ask you for proof of a negative test.
Yeah.
So it's just better to be safe and have that on you at all times.
Yeah, so keep a copy of that. Now, they will be doing spot checks, because there has been questions about, well, if I get a test and I'm negative 72 hours prior to my departure to Hawaii, what happens if that person contracts the virus within that 72-hour window? That's been of great concern to a lot of folks here in Hawaii, us as well, because we don't want folks coming in and unknowingly spreading the virus. So
Nor do we want to come back from Hawaii and be like, oh, we're negative, and then we go about our daily business here in Hawaii, and then we spread the virus.
Right. So what they will be doing is a spot check. They call it surveillance testing. I don't like the word surveillance because it's kind of like a negative word, you know? So I call it a spot check. They're going to be spot checking 10% of daily arrivals. So if 7,000 people travel into the state of Hawaii on Monday, 700 of them will be subject to a surveillance test. Now, what does that mean? 4 days after your arrival, you'll be contacted by contact tracers, because again, they have all of your information in the Hawaii Safe Travel app. They're going to reach out to you and want to do a random rapid test. So the rapid test is the one that gives you a result in about 15 minutes or so. So you may be one of them that are drawn, but you may not. But the state of Hawaii is definitely taking every precaution that they can with.
And another thing that is still ever changing is inter-island travel.
Yes.
As of today, there's still a 14-day travel quarantine for all of the other islands aside from Oahu after October 15th, as of today.
Right. So what that means is that if you're planning to go to Maui and you take your pre-travel test, you come into Hawaii, you will have to quarantine for 14 days when you get to Maui. Maui, the big island of Hawaii, Kauai, are not on board with the pre-travel testing program as of today. So again, this does change every single day. We live on the island of Oahu, which is the most populated island. So we know that 100% as of today, on October 15th, if you plan on visiting Honolulu, Waikiki, Waianae, Kapolei, wherever you're going on the island of Oahu, you will be free to do so with this pre-travel testing program. But it does change daily. Please make sure that you continue to check hawaiicovid19.com for daily updates. So stay tuned. We're going to do another update on October 15th. Which is the go live date for this particular program. We'll give you any updates at that time.
And again, thank you for watching our video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. Also, if you have any comments about traveling to Hawaii or questions about Vegas, please comment below, reach out to us. We are on our social media as well on Facebook and Instagram under Ninth Island Connection.
Thanks guys, till next time.
Thank you.